Time for a different project. We called him Lennon because he was a dead Beetle. He's an old one. Right, so we completely restored it, body off restoration. New chassis, well, not a new chassis, reconditioned chassis. Engine, all runs fine, but the wiring's crap, like a dickhead. When I put it back together, I used the original loom, and there's something wrong with it. It will run, it will start, it will drive. You can put the indicators on, the lights, the brakes, the wipers, everything that's supposed to work works. But if you put them all on at the same time, it keeps blowing the main fuse, which is that blue one there. Right, so I've tried everything I can think of to get this bloody car right, and everything I do doesn't work. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to cut the entire loom out and rewire the entire car from scratch, and that way I'll know that each individual wiring circuit's correct, and each individual wiring circuit is going through the correct fuse, and none of the lines have been compromised. So yeah, that's the plan. So what I'm going to do is get the wire cutters out and start snipping. Right, some people might watch this and go, what is a loom? L-O-O-M. It's the wiring harness. It's every wire that runs front to back on the car. So in this case, the wiring harness comes on the near side. I've already cut these, I've already cut them. They're the wires that go through to that rear light, completely independent now, and I've left them like that so that when I rewire it, I know which wires go where. Right, so if you look on the other side, I've got the same coloured wires over here. So if I cut them, they're like that. When I come to rewire that light, I can either splice into there, but what I'm probably going to do is just bypass it all. And then I've got my colour code. So then if I run this back, that bit there is the subloom. That piece there is one of the subloom that goes across the back of the engine that wires them lights. And just to make it easier to rag it out the car, cut it off, simple as that. Okay, now these electrical harnesses here that go onto the generator, I'm going to leave them in place. So we're going to cut that off. And before you ask, I've already disconnected the battery. Right, and that one there powers the coil. So I'll cut them 2 or 3 wires there. And now the battery is completely independent. And that little subloom can be pulled right out of the car. So if you go in the driver's door, I'll open the passenger door. Started pulling, just put your seat forward. I've already started pulling it over there. Is that on Zoom? Pause or run? No, go on. Right. What I have to do is take this.
Drop the ball.
Oh yeah, pocket man. Right, that's not coming out of there. So you're gonna have to rag that coming over.
Go on.
Okay, so right. That there goes through that grommet, out the back, and into this headlight. I'm just feeling back now, it feels like there's got 4 wires in there. So I'll cut that out there. Yeah, look, 4 wires. See? So one will be the earth, which is usually the brown. And then you've got side lights, headlight, full beam. So now that can be pulled through. These ones here, obviously you've got another earth. So we leave that, they're indicators. So snip that there. So that's the indicator, that's this side now. Completely separate. Not worried about that, that's just a feed for the squirty bottle. Right, down, if you go around the other side of me. Then we've got indicator feed wire, indicator earth, yeah, just pull that through. Can't remember that, that's the fuel gauge which has never ever worked since about the car. Right, so that's going to go through, and then this one here is the headlight to this side, so put that there as well. People go, oh my god, everything I'm doing. Anyways, what I'll do, so it's for you, a little diagram. I'll explain it all for you, it's dead easy. Oh, now that one can be just pulled through, and that is the wiring harness. Oh, they're the brake lights. Right, okay, that's on a plug. That's the brake light switch. Shouldn't have to change that, but we'll leave that for now. So just remember they're the brake lights. Right, that can be pulled through into the car. I'll use that, just pause on that. Right, everything's disconnected as far as I can tell. So the speedo screws in. There you go. Right, now hang on, we just got to... That yellow one there, that's the feed to the squirter. Them 3 there. They go to the fan. Now it's on right. There's a reconnector. Right, that's the bonnet of this. I'm gonna get under and get the bonnet. Possibly vent cables. Fucking stinks of that. Right, so let me just check everything's off. What's that? That's an extra. That there, they're wipers. that there. There you go. So that's the lumens. And that dewired. Look at the state of the fuse box. So this bit goes in the car. That's your front light will do. That one there. That's your brake light switch circuit. And then this main one here back to your wire and your side lights on two sides, and then that one there, by the looks of it, is your alternator feed. So that's what I've got to figure out. Right, what I'm going to do is just a basic diagram to explain how auto electrics work. It's dead easy, right? You've got two poles on your battery, positive and a negative. And what you've got to do is you've got to have a loop from here to there. That's a bit of wire. Yeah, it is a bit of wire. So if you have a bit of wire going from the positive to the negative like that, anything in the middle would work. So for example, if I wanted to wire a bulb in that way, you have a wire going through, goes in the bulb, out the bulb, and over to the negative to put them on, the bulb lights up. And that's the most basic of all of the systems, but obviously it's not good enough, because what you do is you need a fuse. So you say, okay, you've got your positive, then you have a fuse, then you come out, and you've got your bulb, then you go back to the negative, and you go, okay, now we've got a bulb with a fuse on it. So as you switch it off and on, okay, next level, you go positive, fuse, bulb, through your switch, back to your negative. Okay, it's that simple. As long as you've got that loop, everything should work. Now, sometimes you're going to need to have a relay, and all the relay is, I can find one in one of these boxes. Here's a relay, here says a relay. All that is another switch. Okay, so what it does is it allows a lot of current to run through, but you're only switching it with a small current. Right, imagine you've got a big heavy circuit like your main beams on your headlights, for example. They're going to take lots of electricity, but instead of having a great big wire that carries all of that electricity from the switch to the lights, you only need a small one. Because what you do is you say, okay, you're going to have, and I'll double this up, right, just so you can imagine it, right, you're going to have a big heavy wire going from your battery, and then a big heavy wire there goes into the relay, right, and then the big heavy battery comes, sorry, the big heavy wire comes out and goes to your bulb. Yeah, so this is a switch. Taken away from that, what you do is you have another switch. So you have a small switch, so you'd have a small wire going into your small switch, and it comes in here and goes to one side of the relay, and then the other side goes to earth. So that when you flick that switch, put the other side there to earth just so you can figure it out. Right. When you flick that switch with your live there, this switches the relay on, so it allows the big current to flow through, and then light up whatever it is, whatever's on that particular circuit. So things like your main beam, your aircon, your heaters, on my car it'd be like the bonnet and the boot really solid and things like that, but on a Beetle it's very simple. It's not needed. It's actually on the whole car. There's only one bloody relay in it, but we're going to redo it and rewire it with a couple of modern relays for the light to make sure everything's sorted. So all you got to remember, positive one side, negative on the other side. So come out, now I'll turn that way just so you can see. Come out your battery and go fuse, switch, whatever your electrical component is. So that could be a light, it could be a heater, it could be your radio, it could be your door locks if it's central locking, it could be anything that needs a power feed, and then out of there to your earth symbol, which pretty much generally looks like that. As long as you've got that loop with that bit there, whoops, would be your battery, everyone's a winner. What I'll do for you is, right, I'll rig a battery up, I'll rig a switch up and a fuse on some basic wires, and I'll show you how that works with actual real wires rather than the world's roughest diagram. Right, I'll sort that out later on. There you go. Dashboard's out, wiring's out. Like I say, that one there, that plug, goes onto the back of the steering column here. That's for the wipers. So I've pretty much got to figure out which one's the live in, which one's the live out, and feed the steering column with all fresh lives. Don't know what he's shouting out in the background, but anyway, I'll clean all of this up and then sort it all out. They're off a little aftermarket fan that I put in, which is just behind here to blow a bit of warm air through. I can be surprised if it worked, and obviously we've smashed the heater vent things. I broke that, but we'll do something with that. There's the little heater vent. See, so I'll decide what to do with that. The main one for now is to get the wiring redone and then go from there. And it's just started raining, so I'm going to get in the house now because it's going to persist while I'm down. Right guys, the loom's out. As you probably noticed towards the end of that video, it started raining and then it just lashed down for the rest of the night, so we called that a day. So the loom is out. The next video I've already started. What I've done is I've put the loom on a table, not this one, it's on another big bench, and I've started stripping all the wires apart and explaining what I'm doing as I've done it. Now one of the problems is I was on my own, so we have to use that. Imagine this is my phone, because he's on my phone. I was trying to do stuff and explain what I was doing and it came out a little bit crap. But we're learning, so we won't do that again. So what I'm going to do is I've got this little gizmo here, look. You connect your phone onto that, point it at what you're taking pictures of. You can also put the light on. So I'm going to take this with me and set it up tomorrow. And obviously we can do time lapses and that of circuit testing. But you get an idea of what's going on. I won't give you too much now, but when you see what I've done, you'll go, oh my god, he must be off his head. But like you say, it's not a big deal, it's wiring. Some people are terrified of it, there's not to be afraid of. Just get in, get on with it, do one wire at a time, and it's all done. So don't forget, like, share, subscribe, leave us a comment. If there's anything particular you want to see, or if you've got a better way of doing it, let me know, and we'll go from there. But we'll see you on the next one. Cheers, chaps.